Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Yesterday, the media announced that one suspect, a Ukrainian man, suspect in the explosion, in the sabotage of the Nord Stream pipelines. Remember those ones? They want you to forget about it. But hey, we will never forget it. Like those guys say, never forget. And they told us that his name was Sergei K. And I was wondering, why don't you tell me the name, man? Give me the full name and give me a face. Well, I got the name and I got the face. That's the first topic of the alleged suspect. The suspect. One of the suspects. He's not a suspect. He's a man. He's a made-believe guy. He's not a suspect. That's the first topic. The second one, did you know that someone in Belarus wanted to use Oreshnik missiles, those hypersonic ICBMs, on Kiev? So Mr. Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, said, hey, Vladimir, why don't you, Vanya, whatever, is that Vanya? I don't know if Vanya is Vladimir. Why don't you strike those guys in Kiev? And Putin, according to Mr. Lukashenko, said, Niet, my friends, niet. Those are our brothers. Anyway, didn't say that, but I made that up. Lukashenko wanted Putin to do it, but Putin vetoed it. And the last topic for this video, declassified records reveal, according to the Russians, Bill Clinton, the suave guy, Clinton's empty NATO promises made towards Russia. All right, let's start with the first article and first topic. Russia Today. Italian media published photo of Nord Stream sabotage suspect. And this is what I like, because that's reality. Moscow earlier dismissed quote-unquote ridiculous claims that a small group of divers could have carried out the attack. So from the get-go, the Russians are now fake news. That's not the guy. Hey, but I'm going to show you. This is the baboon, all right, in chief. Several Italian outlets on Friday released an image purportedly showing the Ukrainian man's arrested a day earlier over his alleged involvement in the Nord Stream pipeline bombing. The man, identified by the media as 49-year-old Sergei Kuznetsov, is suspected of leading the team that sabotaged the pipelines in September 2022. The image, published by La Stampa and open online, appears to be either a police photo or a photo from identity documents. Neither outlet disclosed its origin. Kuznetsov, oh my god, General Kuznetsov was detained near Rimini Pakataka. I don't believe it. The man allegedly oversaw divers placing the explosives from a sailing yacht rented using forged documents in Rostock, Germany. This is the guy. Now, if you have been watching me for some time, you know that I don't believe that version. This is my, gut feeling. It was the Americans with the Brits, Norwegians, and the Danish government. This is what it was. Maybe the Danish government was told, close your eyes. Okay, while I do that. But the other guys were involved. I heard about the Norwegians. I'm not sure about what Norwegians could be involved or not. But I give the Americans overwhelming #1 trophy. And then the Brits close, neck in neck. And then the other guys had to close their eyes like this. I'm not saying anything. All right. So that's what it is with those guys. The thing with the yacht and with 6+1 ramming the girl, taking sides, taking rounds. I don't believe that. Anyway, that's me, a baboon. But I let you believe in that one if you want. But if you've been with me here long enough, I don't think you believe that story. I don't think so. Let's go to the next one with Oreshnik. Russia Today. 22nd of August 2025, Putin vetoed Oreshnik strike on Kiev. Lukashenko. The Russian president rejected a proposal to wipe out Ukraine's decision-making centers with hypersonic missiles, the Belarusian leader has said. I said eventually he could do it. He doesn't want to do it. Hypersonic missile ICBM, about 6 of them, it's a small tactical nuclear weapon. That's the power. Russian President Vladimir Putin vetoed a proposal. I'm not sure who came with the proposal. I thought it was Lukashenko. To strike the administrative center of Kiev with Moscow's new Oreshnik missiles. Administrative being what? The Jews and all that. His Belarusian counterpart Lukashenko said, the Oreshnik, Russia's newly developed medium-range hypersonic missile system, which can travel at speeds of up to 10 Mach, has already entered serial production. The system, which an analyst claimed cannot be intercepted, can carry nuclear or conventional warheads and release multiple guided warheads. So what does it do? It goes and at the end, poof, like that. According to the data. Opa. Hello, Mary Lou. Speaking to reporters in Minsk on Friday, Lukashenko claimed that unnamed figures in Russia, all right, not only in Russia, has suggested using the system against Kiev's decision-making centers, but Putin refused. Absolutely not, was the Russian leader's response, according to the Belarusian president, who added that if such a strike had taken place, there will have been nothing left. Well, and he says Putin, who has previously said that West has been trying to provoke Russia into using nuclear weapons in Ukraine, but noted that there has been no need for such measures, and according, I hope it won't be necessary, he said. So what do you think, my friends? Why do you think the Russians did not use tactical, when I say tactical nuclear weapon, it's just a small one, supposedly, but still nuclear weapon. Big one, but why do you think the Russians did not use that? Because I think once they use it, there's no turning back, obviously. And Western media, forever and ever, owned by the same guys, you know what I mean, will make us all forget about Hiroshima and Nagasaki and what would have come next. Yokohama, Kobe, Tokyo, Sapporo, all that gone. Yeah, that's what the American plan was. If the Japanese did not surrender unconditionally, they would have exterminated the Japanese. That's a fact. With no problems. We don't hear about it much. If the Russians would use it, this would be like forever and ever in school. These are the biggest criminals. Forever, man, forever. I think this is what the Russians try to avoid. Now, I don't think that Putin tries to avoid a mass killing. I mean, after all, you know what I mean? But I think that's what he tries to avoid, to put a stigma on the Russian people, because that's how these guys are going to connect that with the people of Russia. It's going to be the Russian evil. They already make it like the Russians are some second kind of, special kind of breed that only is like, we want your blood. That's all what it is. It's just baboonish. But these guys will buy it. Uneducated baboons with Hollywood and beer would do everything. And free. They will do it. So that's why I think Putin did not do that. And as he said, not necessary. We're winning slowly as we do it. We're still stable economically, socially, militarily. We don't need to do it. Now, if probably they would be losing, they would contemplate that. Remember, the drop of Oreshnik missiles. I'm thirsty, sorry. No! Okay, this is my wine. Cheers. Very good. Very good. This is partly, how should I put it, semi-dry. So dry and a little bit sweet at the end. What the fuck was I talking about? Anyway, so the Russians would not need to... Oreshnik is not considered a weapon of mass destruction. That's where the Russians can use it, potentially, is not considered. It doesn't meet the definition, the threshold, doesn't pass that. And let's go to see Mr. Bill Clinton, who said, well, NATO is not a threat to Russia. Now, this could be interpreted as a self-fulfilling prophecy and other things, but let's read what Clinton said, according to the Russians. And I was aware of this before. This is just a confirmation for me, or a repetition. Maybe this is news for you, I don't know. Declassified records reveal Clinton's empty NATO promises. In June 2000, remember, he was gone in 2001. He was out of office in January, was sworn in that imbecile Bush. During talks in the Kremlin, U.S. President Bill, and in June 2000, Jesus Christ, Putin was the president in Russia at that time. U.S. President Bill Clinton assured Vladimir Putin that NATO's eastward expansion, and I'm quoting, in no way threatens Russia. These are words. These are words. I don't think the Russians will do that again. Believe in these guys' words. According to documents released by National Security Archives at George Washington University, and I'm quoting, from the very beginning of the NATO expansion process, I knew it could become a problem for Russia. We all knew. I want everyone to understand that NATO's expansion in no way threatens Russia, end quote. Clinton told Putin the notes show. He even went so far as to say Washington was serious, I'm quoting, about being ready to discuss NATO membership with Russia, end quote, in the future, a pledge that history has shown to be nothing more than words. Putin, in later interviews, recalled how the West ignored Russia's openness to dialogue, choosing instead to break its promise and turn NATO into a direct security threat for Moscow. Now you can take a different way. You can say, well, because you, Russia, became more militaristic, you can use whatever you want, what you want, and because, you did what you did in South Ossetia, you did in Georgia, that was 2008, just you did this and that, then we had to. It was a reaction to your actions. But however you want to take it, you're going to go back to 1991. And if you didn't memorize this so far, I will repeat it again. I mean, if I repeat it, it means I did it again. Anyway, pleonasm. Not pleonasm, whatever. So, in 1991, when Soviet Union was still intact, it was about the unification of Germany. The Americans met with the Soviets and told them, and it was Shevardnadze, the foreign minister, he was a Georgian, like Stalin, Mr. Djugashvili, that's his real name, Stalin. He told Shevardnadze, the foreign minister, and who told them was the State Department, what's his name? How Rubio is right now. We have foreign minister of the United States of America, fuck it, because they go with Secretary of State, fuck that shit. Foreign minister of the United States of America, Secretary of State. Fuck. Foreign minister of the United States of America, at that time his name was James Baker. Mr. James Baker and others told Mikhail Gorbachev and Shevardnadze, if you agree, that means they had an option to say no, fuck no. If you agree with the unification of Germany, there will be no eastward NATO expansion 1 inch. Zero expansion. It was in 1991. Everybody, the stenographers and all these guys took note of this, and the Soviets said, it's okay, we trust you. You are the free world after all. You are the democracies after all. You are the businessmen. You are the civilized countries, right? You are the capitalists. They are the good people and we are the bad. So we trust you. No, they lied. 5 times. 5 times NATO expansion towards Russia. It was not Russia expanding towards NATO. It was NATO expanding towards Russia. Okay, in case you had some, what the fuck happened? That happened in 1991. So 2000 is a little bit further away from 90 or later than 1991. And it was reiterated not only then, it was reiterated later by the Americans. No, there's no threat, there's no threat, and there's no threat. That's the way it is, my friends. These are facts. Now, there's many more facts that you can put them together and say, yes, but the facts are, in 1991, you always go to the origin. You don't go in the middle, and the chronology of events, and you go in the middle, you start from the middle, like October 7th in Palestine. We were attacked, my pussy hurts. Now we have to, in self-defense, everybody. History starts on October 7th, remember? There are many other crimes committed before October 7th. The same here. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.